All right, welcome to part 4. So we've introduced our villain, the squirrel. Doom, 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 doom. So now we need to add in, according to my screenplay, we've got a squirrel under the baffle. I'm going to put these both on here at the same time. And then I've got one squirrel. So I'm going to bring in my photo of the squirrel under the baffle. And I've got a squirrel with his tail showing here. So I'm going to move my movie forward. So I took a picture of the squirrel up underneath the baffle, and then here he is with just his tail sticking out. Or did I put the same? Wait. And there he is under there. So, don't. So we've got our squirrels love sunflower seeds, and there's our baffle. So we're now going to introduce the baffle, and then we're going to play with the music again. So I only need, looks like my DJ music is cutting off here. So I'm just going to cut it where I can see it. We'll introduce that music again. Oop, I'm going to hit Control Z because I think I'm going to play with this music. I need it later on. So I'm going to slide it on down to where I need it. Actually, I'll even put it up so that I can remember that it's over there. So we're going to take this music here, and I'll decide if I want the intro music to do this or not. So there's this is the bird music here, so I can come back up and I can choose my bird therapist music, and we're going to drop that down there. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce our little villain in this thing. So there's our music. We may shorten that. I don't know if we need it that long. So we're going to go back to Happy Birds. So we want Happy Birds. We need bird audio again. So if I check my notes, I've got squirrel feeder, music to bird therapist. We're going to 3 squirrels, 1 video only. So empty bird feeder audio. So I've got a video here that says empty bird feeder. There's my empty bird feeder. I'm going to bring in empty bird feeder, and I'm just going to put it here because I know what's going to happen. So this is my empty bird feeder. It's a movie. I can move it up here. You can see it. So this is just an empty bird feeder, but the sound is good. So I am going to take the audio, so separate audio, single clip. And it just dumps it down below there. I'm going to move it down here. I don't want that. I want the audio. So I'm going to put the bird sounds down here so my bird stops so that I can get my sinister music, if you will. But if you remember, we had this audio was actually down to the entire clip. We had it down to about 30. So we're going to drop that audio down again. And now we've got a good transition. So now we need to add in some text so people know what's going on. My title. And using my scheme here, gold bottom. So this one is caption 6. And do enter the squirrel baffle. Drop that little bad boy in. Bring in caption number 6. And we're going to shorten these segments here. So I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. Bring this in a little bit shorter. Make my caption so that it goes the whole length. So it looks like I may have captions for this whole video. So I want it to start right there at the beginning. Slide it over so that it's all aligned. And now we're going to go from our squirrel feeder. So we're zooming in. So there's our squirrel baffle. So there he is, not getting in. Now, we're going to look at a video now. So I'm going to bring back a live video. Squirrel eating from the baffle. Bring that over to my background images. This is my video here. But if you recall, in this one it says got bad sound, so I'm going to separate the audio again. It dumps it down here. I'm going to make sure I've got the right one. I've got them stacked on top, so I'm going to delete that so they don't double play over each other. Now we're going to move over here. So there are the squirrels. But you'll notice that seeds are falling. We got 3 squirrels in there. And then when he looks down here at the very end of this video, you're going to see that he's eating food. Oh, and that's funny. I've overlaid the other sound came back in. But we will gather that. So there we are. So he's now sticking his head out right here, and we are going to play with that. I'm going to see. Nope. Nope. I'm not sure what I did, so I'm going to hit Control Z until things make sense again. So there's my audio music coming in. Oh, that's what was actually playing over. So I put that down here. Now music. And I need to cut my video. So I may want to shorten my video up here a little bit. So I'm going to do that by cutting the scene that I want. I don't know if I need that whole scene. So we can make this one video shorter because I think it's taking too long to tell my story here. So they're eating and then we cut up. So let's cut there. And I'm going to go boop. And I'm going to cut my video. I'm going to see how long I'm going to... So they're down there on the ground, playing around. I'm going to wait till we scroll up. So we're starting to scroll up there. That one squirrel gets mad at the other one, so I'm going to cut that out. And he's up there for a little while, and that's kind of not telling my story fast enough. I'm going to see where he starts coming down. So right about there. So that means I can cut this part here. Now, turn off my cutting. Select this one. And watch, I just edited my video shorter. I may leave this first part there. We'll see how it cuts together. There they are. I cut them chasing each other. And then we just cut up there as if it's another video, but it's actually the same video. I just cut it down shorter, but you can see that his little head is sticking out. And he is actually eating the food. Which means we need to have another segment here. We're going to stop our fun music here. I'm going to select on that. We're going to get rid of that music. I'm going to bring this back here. So remember, we're going to move our music down here. We're going to give our sinister music in again. Line up these start points. And this is a continuation from earlier, so. So there he is sticking his head out. We can even drop in a heart here. So let's go to the very beginning of the heart. I don't want it that big, but we're going to make it smaller. We're going to move the heart right up there, because what we're seeing here is the bird. So notice my music stopping there, my bird sound effects. I'm going to line up my bird sound effects there so I have a better cut. So I shortened my video a little bit. It's not going to hurt anything. Now let's see how my transition works here. So there's my birds. So there he is sticking his little head out right there. Hee hee hee. So I need to get back to my captions so I can tell them what's going on. So I've got my captions running here. Enter the squirrel baffle. Squirrels are on the ground. You can see the squirrel up top. And then let's add a caption here so people know what's going on. So we're going to add a title. This is our caption number 7. Going to come down to gold bottom. Going to call this cap 7. Going to call the title say squirrel squirrel's eating sunflower seeds. And then we're going to bring that into my caption line. I need my background so I can see it. CV. So there's my background caption there. So I'm overlaying it. So when it lines up, I can figure out how long I want that caption on there yet because I don't know yet. So let's see how this transition works. So you see I'm just telling my story. I'm now in the middle. There they're playing around. He's all happy with his heart there. So now, in order to help figure this out, we're going to show a photo. Ooh, that's I learned how we do that. I just drag that on there instead of putting it up there. I just put it where I wanted to on the line. So I've sped up a little bit of time. So I think I'm going to need another caption here, caption number 8. So let's come in here to our music. So that's a good cut. I like it. So it cuts over there. So this is showing a hole in the bottom of the sunflower seed. So I'm going to have to add another. This is caption number 8. And I'm saying it out loud so I can keep track of it. Here's my I've never made a movie before. So it's all fun and games. So these can be really, really entertaining. So they ate a hole in the bottom. So I need to line this up. So let's come back to here. And I'm just going to use the same background to slide to the end. We'll see how long that is. And again, in editing, I can make this shorter if I want. So let's come back to our squirrels are eating. So keep in mind, we went back to our happy music. Birds. There's our squirrels playing around on the bottom. There's the squirrel up there getting baffled. We're at a minute 28. Squirrel's eating sunflower seeds. He loves it. They ate a hole in the bottom. So there's my plot twist. Hooray for that. So that is probably long enough there. So just by playing it, I can now, so I'm going to shorten up that segment here. So I'm continuing on with that music. So how do we end this? We result ate a hole through the bottom of the feeder. We're going to fade out. So we're going to right here. We're going to go fade into the clip. Oops. I clicked too fast, so I'm going to go back in our fade. I'm going to remove all the fades. Fade into the clip. We're going to fade out slow. Now I'm going to take my caption. I'm going to go to my fade out, into the clip, fade out slow. So this is how we're going to end our movie before we get to credits. And I'm going to do an end scene. So there they are. All right, so we've now faded out. I'm gonna make sure everything is long enough. Wanted to see if the heart's in there long enough. Yeah. So actually for entertainment purposes, I am going to find that heart that I just selected here. And because I need to stack it on top of them again, we're going to pop in the heart here again. And I just have it up here because it's on top. So this is how I want to end my movie. So there's a little heart there. I don't know if I've got any, like an arrow. Doesn't look like it. I mean, there's an arrow standing by itself. Let's see if there's a pointer or something. Cat with tears could be fun. But anyway, we could figure out, we could play around with that all that we want. So that is going to cut to black. And then we've got our title screen. And we are going to give a 2-line title with a background. So let's do this one, and I'm going to choose background because I want a black background here. So I'm going to click OK. And end line is going to be the name of the file. And the first part's going to be called Squirrels, :1. Squirrel baffle, 0. We're going to save that. Go back to my project files here. It's my caption. So there's my wee joke at the end, if you will. All right, so that's probably long enough here. I'm going to shorten my thing, so that's where I'm going to stop it here. Then I'm going to trim my music, turn off my cutter, select that one, delete it. So we're going to shorten this little critter up here, and then we're going to add in our happy music for the end credits, and that was called our bird therapist. So this is what's going to move us to our credits. All right, so now I'm just going to add some text in for our end credits. which I'll go ahead and add here. So end credits can be very simple. Let's see what we've got. Multiple lines, standard lines here. So we're going to do our credits. Line 1, directed by me. So we can give music credits. So we've got Bird Food by DJ Freedom. And we've got Bird Therapy and let's see who wrote that one. I've got it in my notes. By Craig MacArthur. So we're going to save that. Add in our credits. It's credits, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to, at the start of the clip, we're going to fade in slow. I'm going to add one more title here. So we can do a 3-line here. And again, you can put all of the information in here that you need, credits to. So do photos by David Holt. Videos by David Holt. Software OpenShot. Now I've added in credits number 1. I'm going to slide down here. Look at this. I've got myself a movie. And I'm going to come back in the next segment just for a little thing. So let me see how long this is. So we didn't even decide. I'm going to shorten that just a little bit. Shorten that up a little bit. I'm listening to the music to see when I want it to end. So that sounds like a good ending right there. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut my music again. Delete my music. Shorten this up. And we've got another segment. So we've got a movie. It's 2 minutes long. So I ran it a little bit fast, but I'm going to have some end credit scenes here. And we'll do that in the last segment.